Welcome to City Insider. This is the YouTube channel that will bring Man City fans the latest news of the club in our hearts. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Ruben Dias wants to buy Jack Grealish's mum a new handbag. Ruben Dias has promised to make amends to Jack Grealish's mum, Karen, after he was sick all over her handbag during Manchester City's treble celebrations. Pep Guardiola's side were busy celebrating last month after an historic season that saw them win the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League after a superb final few months of the campaign. City came from 8 points behind Arsenal to win the Premier League title by 5 points. Beat Man United 2-1 in the FA Cup final and edged out Inter Milan 1-0 to lift the Champions League in Istanbul. However, after they returned to Manchester for the victory parade with some players taking a short stop off in Ibiza, Dias started to feel worse for wear. The Portuguese defender, who is usually teetotal, decided to appropriately celebrate their achievements but soon felt the consequences as City's celebrations took a turn for the worse. But he has pledged to make up for his misdemeanor. Ruben felt unwell because of all the traveling he'd done, a source close to the defender told The Sun. He never drinks alcohol but stuck to the promise he made to down shots if the team won the treble. He quickly realized the first shot wasn't going to stay down. He moved a curtain and was sick behind it, but it turned out Mrs. Grealish's handbag was there. Ruben wants to do the right thing and find a replacement. Manchester City want €50 million for Barcelona target, will not sanction loan exit. Joao Cancelo of Manchester City is an option that Barcelona have on their radars to reinforce the right-back slot this summer. However, signing the Portuguese international is not easy for the La Liga champions owing to their financial situation. As such, a potential loan move had been considered for the 29-year-old. But such an operation appears unlikely. Indeed, as per Sport, Manchester City are not contemplating the possibility of sending Cancelo out on loan this summer and would prefer a permanent exit for the versatile fullback. And the Premier League and European champions hope to receive close to €50 million for the defender's services, making it nearly impossible for Barcelona to sign him. Cancelo had a falling out with manager Pep Guardiola last season, following which he was loaned out to Bayern Munich in January. The German giants had to pay a loan fee in excess of €5 million and cover his full wages for a 6-month period. They had an option to make the transfer permanent for €70 million but decided against doing so. Now back at Man City, Cancelo featured in their pre-season friendly against Yokohama F. Marinos and even registered an assist. As such, it is not completely ruled out that he ends up continuing at the Etihad Stadium. However, as things stand, the citizens prefer to sell him for around €50 million and will not look to loan him out, unless they receive a relatively high loan fee. In either scenario, Barcelona are unlikely to stand a chance of signing Cancelo. A loan operation for the Portuguese ace, including a fee and his wages, could come up to around €20 million and they would have the player for just 1 season. As such, Cancelo's name has been almost ruled out at Barcelona, although there is some hope that if his situation remains unresolved until late in the summer, they might be able to sign him in a discounted operation. Man City could now sign a gem. Conor Gallagher said is a magic. As Michael Olise has been linked with a transfer to Manchester City, it is interesting to look back upon how much Conor Gallagher lauded him. Speaking to JD Sports, the Chelsea midfielder, who was on loan at Crystal Palace, shed light on what it was like to train and play alongside him. Conor Gallagher, who himself is a top player, lavished praise onto Michael Olise, who could be on his way to signing for Manchester City. Fabrizio Romano reported on Sunday that Pep Guardiola's men have shortlisted the 21-year-old as one of their transfer targets, while also revealing that he has a £35 million release clause in his contract. Clearly, the treble winners are on the lookout for a replacement for Riyad Mahrez, who looks all but set to join Al Ahly this summer. Back in November last year, Conor Gallagher named Manchester City-linked winger Michael Olise as the player he has enjoyed playing with the most, whilst going on to sing his praises. Olise, was in the academy with Chelsea when we were younger and he was always 2 years below me, so I never really knew what he was like. So, I never knew what to expect when he came to Palace. Conor Gallagher went on to reveal what it was like to play alongside Manchester City-linked wideman Michael Olise at Crystal Palace, saying, "But he was just so exciting, even to play with. You'd give the ball to his feet and you'd kind of expect him to go and do something magic. I feel like he's got such a bright future and yeah, just a joy to play with." All one can do is nod their head in agreement with the England international, as Olise is one of the most aesthetically pleasing players to watch in the Premier League. After Cole Palmer, Brighton now really want to sign unbelievable 20-years-old Man City gem. It has been reported that Brighton Hove Albion are interested in signing Oscar Bob from Manchester City. This comes from TV2, after the Norwegian wonderkid played a starring role in City's latest 5-3 annihilation of Yokohama F. Marinos. Now, Brighton Hove Albion aim to sign Manchester City talent Oscar Bob in the summer transfer window. On Sunday, Pep Guardiola branded the 20-year-old's display as unbelievable, which goes to show how highly rated he is. A creative midfielder by nature, also capable of playing as a right winger, the Sky Blues talent has been touted as one of the youngsters that could get a look in for the treble winners next season. However, Brighton have been reported as a club with the most concrete interest in signing Oscar Bob from Manchester City, as the Telegraph also claimed a week ago that Roberto De Zerbi's side also hold an interest in bringing Cole Palmer to the Amex Arena on loan. With Riyad Mahrez set to join Al Ahly in the summer, the youngster has been billed as a potential replacement for the legendary winger at the Etihad Stadium. With Pep Guardiola giving Oscar Bob the stage to shine during pre-season for Manchester City, it is unlikely that interest from any potential suitors such as Brighton will be taken too seriously by the club. After all, the silky technician is one of, if not the most talented up-and-coming youngster in City's academy. To add to that, Bob also possesses the perfect profile to operate out wide as per Manchester City's current demands, as he is capable of retaining possession whilst being technically sublime and a player that has the ideal blend of risk and safety in his game. With these traits in mind, as well as Guardiola being set to stay in Manchester for 2 more seasons at least, one expects the highly acclaimed talent to be given the chance to develop at the club for the time being instead. A loan proposal, however, could change the English juggernaut's mind, at least from a logical perspective, but there has been zero indication to suggest that. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.